Hey guys, it's Love and Info with Love and Info. She's back. Let me get my book. Oh no, I lost my pen. Hold on one second. I lost my pen. Okay, honestly, I don't need my pen. I don't need my pen, but it was a really pretty pen and I wanted to show it to you guys. Anyway, so, how are you guys? I'm doing well. I'm still working a lot. I haven't seen you guys in a while, and I always kind of have to tell you guys what's been going on in my life because that's the whole purpose of my videos. Is to document my path through any kind of situation in life that I went through and how I dealt with it and what I'm doing about it, and subjects that just come to my head, and things that can make us better as a person. So basically, I just been taking some time for myself. My relapses are becoming less every time. You can see it within me, with my aura, with my face, that I'm doing a lot better. They're becoming a lot more sporadical. I think in the last 3 months, I want to say that I've relapsed like maybe twice, and it's been easier every single time. I've been doing it on my own. I'm trying to create a new way to get the fuck out of that shit without becoming depending on some other idea. It's like analytical thinking, and that's what I'm trying to do. So everybody has their own way in life. I'm throwing my arrow. I'm doing my thing. I'm not telling what to do. I'm just telling my story. I'm still at Burger King. I'm still talking to the same lovely guy. Nothing serious yet, but life goes on. Spending time together, just living life, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got a couple new songs for you guys. I'm gonna sing the first song right now because it has nothing to do with the subject. But like this song, like I was just sitting outside. We're kind of call him Pickle, because that's what I call him, and I don't want to say his name. But I was at Pickle's house, and we were a little drunk, and I was sitting on the balcony, and I was a little faded, and I was smoking a cigarette, and I'm like, life is well in this present moment in time. So something very important that I want to make a video about, it's not so much of letting go, like I talked about in my last video, but it's about staying on the present moment. And I learned something so cool yesterday. You guys are not going to believe it. So there's actual part of your brain, like I don't remember if it was the right one or the left one, but there's like a part of your brain that only focuses on the present moment and on the energy around you that your nerve system brings into yourself. You know what I mean? And then there's another one that does the present, the future, the past. And that to me was just amazing, because it became from being a spiritual theory, as I saw it, to a technical explanation of biology, of human biology. So it's getting really intense for me. It's a lot of knowledge that I'm adopting, and I try to process it all, break it down to you guys in my own words, and how it affected me, and what I'm doing to not only preach this, but to act on it and to be that. And I was also watching this other video. I have so much information for you guys. It's just so crazy that I have not been in here in so long. I was watching this other video of this girl, and she was talking about like power poses, and how sometimes you have to not only fake it till you make it, but fake it till you are it. And I just have so much to tell you guys. So I'm gonna make a video every day from now on until at least Saturday. So you guys are gonna have a new video for me every day until Saturday. Today's video is called Labels, and I'll explain it in a bit. Here goes the new song. Back to that. Yeah, so I was just faded. I was sitting outside, and then this song just kind of came to me. It's very like old school, like unedited, raw Lana Del Rey kind of thing. And the song is called I'm a Little Faded. So here it goes. I'm a little faded and that's alright. It's a little rainy and things are fine. I'm a little faded and that's alright. It's a little rainy and things are fine. Woke up in the morning, calling up for work, drinking up a 40, smoking up a 8, flying high with the sky, flying high in the sky, rolling up in the clouds, rolling up in the clouds. I'm a little faded and that's alright. It's a little rainy and things are fine. Anyway, so basically the song just repeats itself, but that's pretty cool, huh? It's so simple. It's so like, you know. Anyway, so labels. It's been 5 minutes already, and I have talked about absolutely nothing. That's because I just really miss you guys a lot. I don't know why I do this to myself. So, say hi to Goldie. Hi, Goldie. Goldie's getting full. Look at that. Yes, I love it. Words everywhere. So let's see. Okay, so this is how long I've had this episode ready. So like I usually write my episodes, and like after the episode page, there shall be nothing. And this is how long and how much information I've been holding for you guys, and not talking about. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. So I wrote this to begin the subject. Labels. These labels are killing me. Are we boyfriends? Am I an addict? What is a pig? Did I redefine? Am I a mess? What does the barcode in my neck read for you? These labels are killing us. Did you make it out alive? How does one reinvent? And do you like to cry? Are you still selling yourself? Or are you an artist yet? Please tell me your labels so I can build you and insult you correctly. Where are my notes? I need my notes. So, let me tell you guys about a little story called Baby X. Baby X was a thesis written by some student at some, I imagine, gender class major or something like that. I don't know. My teacher, Mr. B, Miss, some lady with the last name whose letters started with a B, who was kind of my teacher, my gender study teacher back in Cortez High School, read this to us, and she told us it was a thesis and blah blah blah. So Baby X was a baby who was born, and it was never told whether it was a boy or a girl. Its sexual organs were not identified to it, nor to the rest of the world around it. It grew up with no limitations, being an expanding mind, who got to explore every side and color of the spectrum of his divine geometry, which considers that every side of him was accepted, every plate of him, every aspect of what it is. So citing a real hard thing is to tell the whole story and not call it a she or a he. So if you hear me calling it a he or she, it's not because at the end I'm going to tell you it was a he or a she. It's simply because that is how much structure and society has influence into us of how important it is to label ourselves. You know, and I was watching this TED talk about this lady who had boy parts. She had balls inside her. You know, she was like a hermaphrodite or whatever the fuck they're called, and she was talking about how, you know, women's sexuality is like, you must be something. You must be a she. You must be a he. You must be a homosexual. You must be a this. And we fight so hard sometimes to get ourselves within that category, to be limited, to expand our subconscious, and to accept every single aspect of who we are, simply to become a part of something smaller than ourselves. To be a part of the group who is already identified, therefore it becomes one and put to the side. Because those humans are no longer growing. So, baby it, grew up in a normal environment with two parents, with two loving parents, took it to school. It went to school and had friends for who it was, because it would dress however it would fucking like. It will put boys' clothes on. It will put girls' clothes on if you feel like it. It will have long and pink and blue hair if it liked it. So therefore, it was accepted because he was accepted. Because it was accepted, accepting of itself, you know. And it grew up to find love, and it had a beautiful life after that. So now, the thing here is that I look at labels as restrictions of mind expandation. Now, when we understand the whole atom thing and how we're all connected as one, and we live in an expanding universe which becomes bigger and smaller, and it's all relative to ourselves. And when a lot of the times, like myself, when I hear people describing this experience, I'm like, well, I want to experience that. I know it, but I want to feel it. I want to be it. You know, and and then I go back to this, and I'm like, well, there's so many mental restrictions and subconscious restrictions that society, that religion, that psychology, even. Mm-hmm. Psychologists are not really all open-minded people. Psychologists, to me, the ones that don't do their job right, are the ones that read the books and assume that therefore we have not grew as humanity, so every single little aspect and pattern that was therefore input before will always repeat itself. And it's not like that. So, bottom line, labeling ourselves to be something, whether it's to be good, whether it's to be bad, whether it's to be smart, whether it's to be stupid, holds us back. Why? Because if I label myself as stupid, I would not find myself capable of learning more. If I label myself as stupid because I believe that he's smarter than me because he's labeled himself as smarter, he who has labeled himself as smarter would not be willing to learn anymore because he will think that it knows it all. A Mr. Know-It-All. A genius. I believe that I will never learn until I commit and accept to myself that I know absolutely nothing. And I think once that you know that you don't know at all, and you free yourself from those labels of marking your intelligence label, then you're willing to learn. So we can apply that to any aspect of our lives, from the way we dress, to the way we act, to the way we portray ourselves, to the phone we fucking carry. Okay? A lot of the times people are like, I'm iPhone team. I'm always going to be iPhone team. Okay, well, you're never going to develop an app there. I mean, not that you want to, but if you wanted to, you wouldn't be able to because you're restricting yourself from expanding in a physical matter. You know, so imagine when you apply this to spiritual things, you know, like religion, like, you know, and I have my own aspects of religion, so don't take that too serious when I say it like that, but we must see ourselves as a spectrum, not as a category. A spectrum is the beginning and the end of all the categories inside something. We all have different sides. I don't know if you guys ever heard about divine geometry, and that's like a subject, a very iffy, touchy subject that I don't want to talk about until I'm sure of it all. I understand more things. But to me, the divine geometry talks about this expanding shape of a star that has all these different sides, and no matter where you put it, it always grows. It expands up and down. If we look ourselves as that star, because we're all stars, and we accept every single side of our spectrum, and we appreciate every single one of them, we will grow as humanity, meaning that you can be anything you want, repeatedly, differently, and in different fucking ways, and still be yourself. It doesn't matter, you want to be crazy and you want to be sane, you can do both. You want to be stupid and you want to be smart, you can do both. You can do absolutely as many things as you want. Some and call it something along the lines like, you have multiple personalities. Well, maybe I do. You know, because there is two parts of our brains. There's the part of our brain who is completely connected to everything around us, and there's the part of our brain who is not, because it's always thinking ahead. It's always thinking before. It's always thinking of what's going to be. You know what I mean? So those are the two sides of us already, you know? And we must embrace all of it, you know? Like, I made all these little things, and, like, I've been having this in my head for so long that I'm not even looking at my notes. But, you know, I talked about baby eggs. I talk about your body is like, oh, your body's like a Russian roulette. And labels restrict us from going along with everything. So every morning you wake up, your body is like a Russian roulette. Every moment that you spend, every second that passes that is now a present moment and not the moment before that, your body is spinning. Your inside is spinning. And each time it lands somewhere different, which is we may call mood or a mood. You know, you're in the mood, you're in this, you're in that kind of state of mind, you're in this state of mind. And having labels suppresses from going along with the natural cause that drifts us to be that way, you know, which causes anxiety, which causes depression, which causes anger, you know what I mean, against somebody else, against yourself, against those who you want to be liked by, even sometimes. Because you blame it on them that you're fighting so hard to be something that you are. But you don't have to only be that. Yeah, labels bring down expectations, restrictions, and pre-med I don't have control. Oh, and we don't have control when we set ourselves as labels because we're going by someone else's regulations. That is horrible. And all that brings us down to disappointment, our self-disappointment, social disappointment. We become afraid of taking a chance. It creates anxiety, it creates depression, it creates body dysphoria, or when we're afraid of our own bodies, we don't accept our own bodies the way they are because we're trying so hard to be something that either we're not or we're not only that. So I wrote the song, and I'm gonna leave you guys after that. I hope that I was a little coherent because I feel like I had so much in my brain to tell you guys that I'm just like, but we'll see. I don't know. Please leave some comments. I love you guys. I miss you guys. Hello to my little stars, to all of you beautiful people that always comment and that always are asking me when I'm gonna make another video. I really do love you guys. And when I stop doing this, it's simply because I don't believe myself capable of it. So I have to sit there and tell myself, I love myself. I am worthy of it. I'm an artist. I'm gonna fake it till I'm it. And it's bringing out that side of me and accepting everything that I am. So anyway, this song right here, it's a little different. It's a little Mark Almond inspired. I don't know if you guys know who Mark Almond is. Google him. He's the guy that wrote Tainted Love. And it's called Peculiar. And here it goes. Peculiar little lies, peculiar little lies we live in a world where we try our best to pretend and exist, to one day wake up and never live again, and never lie again. Peculiar little lies, peculiar little lies. We live in a world where we try our best to pretend and exist, to one day wake up and never live again, and never lie again. Peculiar little lies. Anyway, I hope you guys liked it. It was very different for me. We're all stars. Let's keep shining. That's all we have to do, and we will be happy.